part of the lecture will be about macromolecules. So macromolecules of the life, how they say, or biological macromolecules, are inorganic molecules. All living organisms contain very large amount of inorganic molecule, and it's water. Inorganic components, such as molecules, they usually small, structurally simple, non-stable, and they lack carbon atom. So this is inorganic molecules or components. Some of the important inorganic components for the living organism are water, molecular oxygen, carbon dioxide, salts, acids, and bases. Water is the most abundant substance inside of the cells. So this is one of the molecular evidence of the evolution, because how it stayed or evolved from the water, kind of from the first living organism was evolved in the water. So this is why each of our cells include a lot of water. So what is special about the water in our cells? So what is the function of water in our cells? So water is excellent solvent, and it's because it have polar molecule, and we will talk about this in the next few slides. Water is also a reactant in the many decomposition reaction of digestion. So for example, think about if you go to buffet and you eat a lot of food. After few hours, what you want? Usually you want to drink, because inside of your digestive system, food start to break down. And for this decomposition reaction, we need water in order to break down our food molecule on the simple one. Next, water is an excellent temperature buffer, and we will talk about importance of this for the survival of the living organism. So water is an excellent solvent, how I was talking, and it's because it's polar molecule. So what means polar molecule? So water molecule made up of the 3 atoms. One oxygen, so in here this is show oxygen atom, and water made up of the 2 hydrogen atoms. 1, 2 hydrogen atoms, and it's called polar molecule because it have electrical charge. So oxygen molecule is relatively negative, and 2 hydrogen atoms attached, they are relatively positive. So it means overall the water molecule is polar molecule. It have one part which is negative, and it have 2 parts which is positive, so it have opposite poles, polar molecule. So what is the special about molecule? So when atoms share electrons, they form how it's called bonds or connections, and this is how they become molecules. So water molecules in here, how we already talked, have 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atom, and they share electrons. It means that electrons which moving in here around this hydrogen positive nucleus in here, sometimes it's moving this way, but sometimes it can flip and move in here close to the oxygen right now. So, and same about this and these 2 electrons in here. So they are sharer, and this is why this will be bond, electrical bond, which connects 2 atoms. And this is why in here we have different representation of the water. So this is the red, will be oxygen, and it have negative charge. And here it show minus. And we have two hydrogens, in here hydrogen and in here hydrogen, and it have positive charge. But now this black dot in here, this one, what does this represent? This is represent a bond connection between these atoms, and this is why this will be one water molecule. So when we think about water, yes, water molecules are connected. So in here the other water molecule, in between them one oxygen atom of one water molecule and hydrogen atom of the other water molecule also establish in here bond connection. But this is now showing not a black one, but this is dotted line. This is dotted line in here represent different type of the bond. It's called hydrogen bond, and what is special about this hydrogen bond? It's weak, it's not very strong, and weak hydrogen bonds connect two water molecules. And we will talk about these hydrogen bonds later when we talk about structure of the DNA and we talk about genetics. It will be very important for the division, duplication of the DNA. So water molecule, again, one water molecule have in here black, this is connections bond, and this is called covalent bond, they strong. But between two molecules in the water, they have weak hydrogen bonds. The polar character of the water means that anything with charge can dissolve in water. So when the other molecules have charge, positive or negative, they could be dissolved in water. For example, we will look in here on the table salt. Table salt have chemical formula sodium chloride. And when we add table salt to the water and we mix it, what will happening? It will dissociate, separate. So one salt molecule will be divided on the two separate atoms. And this is what happening in here. So salt molecule, when we put it into the water, yes, it will dissociate. So sodium will be in one place, this is sodium, and chloride will go in the other way. And water will break down, it's kind of separate, this is sodium chloride molecule. So this is dissociation. So chloride have negative charge, so it means it's polar, it's charged electrically. And remember water, this is one water molecule, yes? And remember in the water is a polar molecule, so oxygen have negative charge, but hydrogen, both hydrogen atom in the water have positive charge. So this is why they will be attached to the negatively charged chloride, and the other water molecules to do the same. But on the other hand, sodium have positive charge, electrical charge, so negatively charged part of the water, oxygen, will be attached to the sodium, and this is how we will break down table salt sodium chloride molecule on the two, and it will dissociate. So everything what have electrical charge, like sodium chloride, called hydrophilic molecules or components. So it means they can easily dissolve in water. They like water. It's called hydro, mean water, and philic mean like. So any components, chemical components which have charge, electrical charge, will be hydrophilic, like salt, and easy dissolve in the water. The other type of the component, opposite, will be they will not be easy dissolve in water, and they call hydrophobic. An example of this will be any kind of oils or fats. Yes, if you put in the water drop of the vegetable oil, it will not mix together, dissociate on their own. So these oils or fats, they all hydrophobic. Hydro mean water, and phobic mean do not like, hate. Yes, so they do not dissolve easy with water. Water has very high heat capacity. Large amount of the energy is needed to raise temperature of the water, because water can absorb and store the heat. So water tends to have relatively stable temperature because of this, compared to the air around the water, which temperature easy to fluctuate. The modern temperature in the ocean and lakes makes them suitable year-round for the abundance of the aquatic life. Because aquatic life, living organism, made up of the biological macromolecules, they can work and perform their function in very small range of the temperature. And this is why they are abundant in the aquatic life, because water cannot change temperature very fast. So it's very stable temperature. Water is relatively resistant to phase change because of that. It takes a relatively large amount of the energy to break down all of the hydrogen bond between water molecules, to produce, for example, water vapor or steam. So if we have liquid water and we need to convert it to the gaseous or vapor or steam, so we need to input a lot of energy in here in order to break down hydrogen bonds between molecules. So in here, in the liquid water, we have one water molecule in here, next, they have connection in here, hydrogen bonds between molecules. So in order to make steam from this water, we need to break down these hydrogen bonds. So in here shows this is water molecules now all separated. And same happens if we want to convert ice or solid water into the liquid water. How you can see, liquid water have small amount of the hydrogen bonds compared to the solid water or ice. It's more structure. All water molecules in here, they all have attachment to like minimum one the other water molecule, compared to the solid, to the liquid water, whereas we have small one water molecules attached to the other only. So this is importance of the hydrogen bonds between water molecules, and how it's important for the suitable year-round abundance of the aquatic life. So in here, this image also demonstrates this. So this is water molecules in the ice all connected. This is in the liquid water, and this is gaseous, how they start to break down. So by the end of this part, now you will be able to answer what is the difference between hydrophobic and hydrophilic macromolecules.